event hall, and more of the 94 World Figure Skating Championships. In 5th place, last year's silver medalist, Mandy, Wotzel, Ingo, Steuer. What a year it's been for these two. He was carried off the ice on a stretcher at Skate Canada. They missed the German nationals with the flu. She, of course, carried off at the Olympic Games after that terrible spill. Proof that there is such thing as a sophomore jinx, but they'd love to put that behind them now because a medal still may be within reach.
Well, they didn't have a great skate in the technical program, but they were marked quite high. They're sitting in 5th spot, and he said afterwards he thought they probably should have been 9th, and then he thought that they were given a gift. I think you have to take those gifts sometimes, because sometimes they go to other people. This is a very interesting program. The first 2.5 minutes is fast music. Very difficult. Open with a nice triple twist.
Side by side. Triple toe attempt. Beautifully done.
Triple toe loop. She lands it.
Well, they're the first team so far that's come out here tonight and really shown some aggression, like they really want to skate well out here. To complete this program at the Olympic Games because of her injury, so I'm sure they want to show the world just how good it can be.
Oh, that lift is coming down.
Nice save, though.
The Olympics right there. And it looks like they changed it. It's the same thing that Mandy did last night. She singled the double axel. But so far, it's the only mistake. Programs we've seen so far. seemed to be just on the edge throughout. They had a couple of difficulties, some shaky lifts, a few small minor errors, and a single axle by Mandy, but overall, probably the best program you've seen them do since last year.
Mandy Wotzel and Ingo Steuer of Germany, and yes, there were flashes of the brilliance we saw in their first season together in '93.
Here we're going to see one of the first lifts they did, star lift into a bar lift position, and it's going to flip down. Nice variation.
And here's a look at the throw double axle. Watch the height that she gets. Oh, and it was a two-footed landing. We saw it from a different angle, and it was hard to tell. He's carrying her off.
That's the way they left the ice at the Olympics, but a happier time, as we'll be back with their marks after this. We're back in Japan, and the marks just being posted for Wotzel Steuer. Nice set of technical marks, 5.2 up to 5.6 from the German judge. And Ingo Steuer, who looked very despondent earlier today, is savoring these. Nice set of technical marks, 5.2 up to 5.6 from the German judge. And Ingo Steuer, who looked very despondent earlier today, is savoring these marks. 8 first-place marks, a third from Canada, but starting 5th, Wotzel Steuer may be able to move into the medals. In the final group are the leaders from Russia, Evgenia Shishkova, Vadim Naumov, the silver medalists at the Europeans. That was their best ever performance, now with a shot at gold at the Worlds.
Well, Chris, being the first of the top 3 teams to skate, they have an opportunity here to set a standard that the rest of these skaters will have to chase.
And that's not a bad start with the throw triple Salchow. The next element will be the side-by-side triple toe loops. Wow.
Her with such control and just sets her down on the ice so gently.
One area where this team excels is in the lift. Very original, very creative. This is the first. Look at this position. Problems with the double axle. It's the first mistake.
Variations like that are what sets teams apart from the balance of the field. It shows creativity, it shows originality, and those are some of the things that judges are looking for. The other thing I like, this team has come a long way since we first saw them. They used to be very mechanical, but now there's some character out there. They're each developing their own flair, and this team has a real look of distinction about it.
throw triple toe loop. And she lands it. What I've really noticed this year about this team is they're skating with so much more confidence.
Aside from the small problem they had in their side-by-side double axel, a great skate.
Evgeny Shishkova batting Naumov of Russia, and they just put the heat on Isabelle Brasseur and Lloyd Eisler.
Here we're going to see the entrance to one of their lifts. She tucks her head between his knees and pike right up into position. Great originality.
And as always, he catches her and sets her down so gently. Here's the double axels.
They both have trouble on this.
Well, Evgenia never seems to get enough height on her jump. That's the one area that needs to be improved.
We'll have their marks when we return to Japan. We're back in Japan awaiting the marks of Evgeny Shishkova batting Naumov, and that's a good set of technical marks. 5, 6s, 7s, and 8s. You know, they were overshadowed by Gordiev, Grinkov, Mishkatunik, and Dimitriev earlier this year, but Vadim said that the pros made them work harder, made them be technically more difficult. It's paid off. Second set of marks, up to 5-9 from Belarus, and 9 first-place marks. That's quite a standard for Brasseur and Eisler to pursue. The world champions with coach Jose Picard getting set to defend their title in a reflective mood as they approach their last amateur skate.
I think this time it's just go out there and have fun, you know, go out there and enjoy it and say, hey, this is our last time. We pretty much proved everybody wrong, and it's been fun. You know, we believed in ourselves and we believed in each other more than anyone else did, and thus, you know, we're sitting as reigning world champions and defending our title, which there's not a lot of those other people here to defend any titles, and I think that is a tribute to our courage, our strength, and the beliefs that we have and trust and respect in one another.
I feel pretty much the same way, that we had a great career, and no matter what happens here, it's just kind of a bonus, and if ever we don't do good, you know, it won't change the rest of the career we had, because, I mean, 4 world medals and 2 Olympic medals, there's not a lot of people that has that in their pocket. And not only that, you know, we're able to say, you know, we're great people and we're always going to be friends no matter in 10 years, no matter what happens here at the Worlds, our last Worlds, we'll be friends in 10 years, and we just want to enjoy those last moments in front of the public.
If you're looking for the greatest competition you could participate in was the 94 Olympics, I mean, there's no question. I mean, you have, you know, Gordiev, Grinkov, Mishkatunik, Dimitriev, us. You have Shishkova, Naumov. You have Renee and Radka, who are world medalists. You have Todd Sand, who's a world medalist, now skating with Jenny Mino, top 5.
Ingo and Mandy.
Mandy and Ingo, who, you know, second at Worlds the year before. I mean, that quality of competition that will never be met in a long, long time. I don't think that I'll get to see it in my lifetime. But as far as competition one-on-one, I think that probably our competition with our Tour Natalia over 90, 91, 92 was
94.
always good competition, you know. I mean, they weren't there in 93, and it was, I would have liked them to have been there when we had our best day, because in 1990 we had our good day and they didn't. 91, you know, we had
Injury.
close in injury and almost beat them. 92, they were there. We should have won the short. They did. They won overall, you know. So I think their competition over the 3 years was really something that I liked, because I love competing. I love to get out there and put my best against someone else's best. And it's great when two people skate so close and, you know, it's up and down all the time. And it was fun.
I think it's been great. I mean, we went through hard times sometimes. It changed a lot. Our relation changed a lot. It started at the beginning that I was a little girl and, you know, I didn't have my opinions. I didn't know much in skating or in life. And I grew up with the years, and I actually now know more than him.
The woman on the team's always right, isn't she, Barb?
Well, it was on our team, Chris.
We'll be back with their final skate after this. Japan, a wing from Isabelle to Lloyd, and for the final time, Brasseur and Eisler skate to center to represent Canada in second place, looking for their second straight world title.
There's a lot of pressure here. They were on the ice when the marks came up for Shishkova and Naumov. They know they have skated well. This opening spin, Lloyd said, is very painful for Isabelle because he has to pull her in right in the area where it hurts. Good. She touched down right at the very end, but I'm sure she's fine with that. Now, this next move is a lateral twist, and this is what she originally hurt the rib on. They're doing a double instead of a triple, just to play it safe.
Next move, a throw triple Southcow.
Good one.
Nicely done. the only team that does that lift. It's perhaps one of the most difficult lifts in this competition, as you'll see with all of the teams in this last group. The variations in the lifts are just extraordinary.
This may be their most emotional performance. What a way to say goodbye, Isabelle Brasseur and Lloyd Eisler.
She's holding back the tears, and I don't know if they're tears of pain, tears of joy in having finished a fairly outstanding skate given the circumstances.
And Lloyd saluting her, and there's tears up on this platform as their teammates celebrate. I didn't know if they could match Broad for excitement, but they're coming awful close.
Well, there are always so many Canadians that make the trip to the World Championships. Here we see the throw triple Salchow, which they did quite nicely.
And here's that back overhead lift. It's extremely painful because she's constantly changing her weight, rotating, twisting, turning, and landing. Wow, I'm sure she held her breath through that entire program.
No complaints. Thank you.
Jose Picard, Ushi Kessler, and the tears and the kiss and cry are Gillies.
Oh my God.
All part of this team.
Come on, Fred.
Great competitors, though. I asked Lloyd about a half hour ago, are you going to miss this feeling, that tension before skating? And he said yes. They enjoy it, and they seem to thrive on it.
Here, Fred.
Salut Dan, salut Jean, salut Dan, puis José.
Hi, John.
Salut,
Hi,
Guy.
Pam.
Well, they'll be moving on to professional careers, and certainly I'm sure they will have great ones.
Remember how close it was between Shishkova Naumov and Brasseur and Eisler at the Olympics, a 5-4 judges split. Will we have that kind of scenario here?
I'm not sure that it matters right now. I'm sure they're just so relieved and happy to be through that program.
Here are the technical merit marks. 5-9 from the Australian judge, but there are 5 6s on the board from Russia and the Czech Republic.
5-7, 5-7. Thank you. Artistic impression.
And now the artistic marks. 5 9s again, 5 7s. But just the 3 first-place marks, 6 second-place marks. We've got a split panel, and now Brasseur and Eisler are in second place. We'll be back with more from the 94 Worlds after this. To skate, Marina Eltsova, Andrei Bushkov of Russia, third after the technical program. Some felt they deserved better. And here's the situation. Shishkova Naumov lead Brasseur Eisler are second, 6-3, the judge's decision right now. Brasseur and Eisler, oddly enough, need some help from the Russians. They must take 2 first-place marks away from Shishkova Naumov for any chance at the gold.
Well, this is a team with a very loaded, very creative, powerful program. If they skate it well, they'll be tough to beat. Wow. And they hold hands on the landing.
Barb, one of the most impressive aspects of this team is that they're doing all of these elements with great speed. They're really moving out there. Side-by-side double axles. I like the way this program is designed to flow from one element immediately into another one. It's like things are coming in combination. Bar lift.
Because that was a very strong program. They had one mistake on the triple toe loops. I wouldn't want to be a judge right now.
Well, they just demonstrated such control with some of the elements that we saw them execute. Here's the first one. Beautiful split triple twist. Sets her down, extends, steps right in, up into the throw-double axle. Beautiful. Extraordinary, actually. Never seen it done before.
And there's the throw triple sow cow. I don't think that can be done any better.
Back with the marks for Eltsova Bushkov in a moment.
5, 8.
We're back in Japan as Igor Moskvin, Marina Eltsova, now Andrei Bushkov will assess the marks. 5, 6, and 7s, and a 5-8 from Australia for this team.
Artistic impression. 5, 6.
And now the artistic impression marks. Canada was looking for a favor from these Russians. They won't get it. Their best mark, a second place from Australia. Overall, these are third place marks and a bronze medal performance for Eltsova Bushkov. So the final standings, so Shishkova and Naumov of Russia winning their first world gold medal. It's Brasseur and Eisler with the silver, Eltsova Bushkov the bronze. The other Canadians, Sergeant Wirtz 11th, Saleh and Turner 16th. And we'll have more from the Makahari Event Hall in a moment. To the event hall in Makahari, an emotional night in the pairs competition, and standing by with the silver medalist, Brian Williams.
The men of the
I have seen some gutsy performances in my career in many sports. This ranks right near the top. Congratulations. How bad are you hurting?
Pretty bad right now.
Was there ever a time out there tonight you thought about quitting?
No, I guess I was on a roll and I just wanted to finish it no matter, how much pain I was in. I knew I was going to be in a lot of pain afterwards, but I was ready to wait for 4 minutes and 40 seconds, so.
Lloyd, you talked to her during the performance. What did you say?
Oh, the whole way I was asking her how she was feeling, do you want to keep going? And I kept getting the same response, you bet, you bet, you bet. Even after the triple twist, I know it was killing her. I said, do double toe. And she said, no way, we're doing triple. And I did triple, and we just put our hand down. I mean, I would have stopped. I wouldn't even have done the short or the long. And we're going to come away with this with a medal, and big hearts, big smiles, and no one can ever take that away from us.
You've been part psychologist here this week. You've had a lot of talking to do to your partner.
I think so. I think that we've always been helpful getting each other through. I think in the beginning it was always me. In the last couple of years it's been Isabel getting me through, and then this week it was back to me, bringing it together, and knowing Isabel, once she made up her mind, it was a question of me not changing my attitude and saying, don't do it, don't do it. You want to go with it, let's go with it. Let's be positive, let's do it. And she really helped me tonight. I mean, even though she was hurting in that, I was really nervous today, and I didn't know if I wanted to do it. And all week she was saying, especially today, I want to go, and that really pumped me up, and she saved me.
In spite of the pain, a great performance, though.
Yes, pretty good. I mean, we're proud of what we did 2 days ago. We didn't even think we could compete even in the original program, and we managed to get through both programs with, pretty good. Not the best that we've been skating, but it was still pretty good.
They're winding me up here, Lloyd. A lot of skaters chose not to come. You could have retired, but you came here. Why?
I think 3 reasons. One, for ourselves. We wanted to prove that you don't have to be professional. The money isn't everything. Our amateur career is our amateur career first. Then we'll go professional and make the money. And thirdly, for the CFSA. I think that by us placing in the top 5, we give a lot of young kids 3 teams next year to Worlds, a great start on a new quadrennial. And without us here, there might only be 1 team coming next year. And they've done a lot for us, and it's the least I can do to pay them back.
Congratulations. You've done a lot for your country.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Lloyd Eisler, Isabel Brasseur. Let's go back to Chris Cuthbert.
And we'll return to the event hall in Makahari for the medal ceremonies after this. And now for the 5th time in their careers, Isabel Brasseur and Lloyd Eisler receiving world medals. Like our Olympic hockey team, it's silver, but it must feel as good as gold. And a final farewell from the world stage. Back with a final word after this.
The 1994 World Figure Skating Championships on...
And on this Wednesday night, welcome back, everyone, to Makahari, Japan, as we wrap up CBC's coverage of Day 2 of these 1994 World Figure Skating Championships. Speaking of wrapping up, Lloyd Eisler and Isabel Brasseur wrap up a brilliant amateur career. Their medal count in World Championship and Olympic competition is 7, 1 gold, 3 silver, and 3 bronze. And now for Chris Cuthbert, Barbara Underhill, Paul Martini, and Gene Sempt, I'm Brian Williams saying good night from Japan. And just